Hello, listeners. This is Brian speaking on behalf of the audio description team. Welcome to the audio version of the programme for the Chichester Festival Theatre Season 2014. In their introduction in the programme, the theatre directors Jonathan Church and Alan Finch wrote this message to theatregoers. This year, it is with great excitement that we reopen our completely refurbished 1,300-seat festival theatre. We could not be happier with our new building. With a transformed auditorium, expanded artist and visitor facilities, and greatly improved visitor access, Chichester Festival Theatre can now proudly match its world-class artistic reputation with world-class spaces. As great writers, great directors and great performers are at the heart of what we do, we mark our transformation by presenting a programme distinguished by the finest dramatic writing in addition to several theatrical classics and 2 great Broadway musicals. We are once again putting new writing at the heart of the programme. The world premieres of Brochure, Pitcairn and Taken at Midnight open up 3 fascinating yet unknown historical stories. We thank you and hope you will join us to celebrate our new theatre and our new productions and now our new season. The words of the theatre directors. The descriptions team also want to make sure you are aware of an important feature arising from the refurbishment of the Festival Theatre. Please note that the layout of the Festival Theatre foyer and entrances to the auditorium will have changed since your last visit. The box office, bars, lifts and toilets have been resited. Any member of the theatre staff or of the descriptions team will be able to assist you if you are unsure where to go. The 2014 season consists of 11 productions in total, 6 in the Minerva and 5 in the Festival Theatre. The season starts in the Minerva on the 24th of April, and the first production in the Festival Theatre opens on the 12th of July. This year, the season runs through the autumn and ends with the Youth Theatre Christmas production, and the season closes on the 3rd of January 2015. I shall now give a brief outline of each production in date order, including the dates of the described performances. We start in the Minerva with Stevie, written by Hugh Whitemore, directed by Christopher Morahan, and starring Zoe Wanamaker as the poet, Stevie Smith. Nervous and droll, Stevie Smith spends her days as a private secretary at the Nunes Publishing Company, and her evenings in the London suburbs eating Battenberg cake and ginger nuts with her beloved aunt. All the time she is writing the piercing poetry and prose that will make her famous. In between there are diverting visits from a series of men, and later on a tussle with a literary celebrity. Beyond everything, there is her greatest, often darkly comic, struggle to keep waving where she feels like drowning. We shall provide an audio description of Stevie at 7:45 on the evening of Friday the 16th of May and at the matinee at 2:45 in the afternoon of Saturday the 17th of May. For the second production of the season, we stay in the Minerva with a new play, Brochure, based on a true story and written by David Haig, who also co-stars, alongside Malcolm Sinclair. Brochure is directed by John Dove. It is June 1944, and the nation is looking to the skies. Everything is in place for the biggest invasion ever known in Europe, D-Day. Only one last crucial question remains. Will the weather be right on the day? Problematically, there are 2 definite forecasts. American celebrity weatherman Colonel Crick breezily predicts sunshine, while Scotsman Dr. James Stagg, the chief meteorologist for the Allied forces, played by David Haig, forecasts a storm. Allied Supreme Commander General Eisenhower, played by Malcolm Sinclair, must decide which to trust, and this play thrillingly explores the responsibility of leadership, the challenges of prophecy, and the personal toll of taking a stand. The descriptions team will provide an audio description of Pressure on the evening of Friday the 20th of June at 7:45 and the matinee on Saturday the 21st of June at 2:45. Still in the Minerva, the third production of the season consists of two one-act plays, both directed by Jamie Glover. Miss Julie by August Strindberg and Black Comedy by Peter Shaffer. The pairing of these two plays was first seen as a double bill at the National Theatre in 1965 and later the same year at Chichester Festival Theatre with Maggie Smith and Albert Finney. Miss Julie was written by Strindberg in 1888. Gossip and rumour spiral around the aristocratic Miss Julie and her attitude towards and treatment of men, including now her attention to her father's handsome valet. The play asks who, in the battle of the sexes, is really the servant and who is the master. Peter Shaffer's 1965 play Black Comedy tells the tale of an impoverished artist's desperate attempts to impress his fiancée's father and a millionaire art dealer by secretly borrowing the expensive furniture of his neighbour. But things don't go to plan when the lights fuse and the uptight and troublesome neighbour returns. The play wickedly exposes what really goes on in the dark. Described performances of these two one-act plays are on Friday the 25th of July at 7:45 in the evening and the matinee at 2:45 on Saturday the 26th of July. We now cross to the Festival Theatre, where Peter Shaffer's legendary play Amadeus marks the reopening of the newly transformed Festival Theatre. As the young genius, Mozart storms the Habsburg court. The ageing, overworked court composer Salieri is struggling with his composition. Bitterly jealous of his rival and believing God has abandoned him, he devises ever darker and more sordid punishments. Set amidst the splendour of 18th century Vienna, this thrilling and often wickedly funny play pits blazing human ambition against heavenly genius in what becomes a battle of life and death. The play is directed by Chichester Festival Theatre's artistic director Jonathan Church, and the role of Salieri is played by Rupert Everett. We shall describe Amadeus in the evening of Friday the 1st of August at 7:30 and at the matinee 2:30 p.m. on Saturday the 2nd of August. For the next production of the season, we stay in the Festival Theatre for the hugely popular classic musical Guys and Dolls. With music and lyrics by Frank Loesser, this multi-award-winning musical fable of Broadway needs little introduction. The new production marks the directorial debut at Chichester by American director Gordon Greenberg, and the choreography is by the Cuban ballet dancer and choreographer Carlos Acosta. Nathan Detroit is played by Peter Polycarpou, who last appeared at Chichester in The Pyjama Game, and Sophie Thompson plays Miss Adelaide. The team will offer an audio description of Guys and Dolls on the evening of Friday the 5th of September at 7:30 and the matinee at 2:30 on Saturday the 6th of September. For the next play, we come back to the Minerva and the second new play of the season, Pitcairn, written by Richard Dean, who won the 2011 Evening Standard Award for Best Play for both Heretic and One Man, Two Governors. Max Stafford Clark is the director. The play is set in 1789, the year of the French Revolution and the mutiny on the Bounty, when rebellion and new ideas of democracy are in the air. Having overthrown Captain Bligh, Fletcher Christian drops anchor at the remote southern Pacific island of Pitcairn with a plan to establish a society of equals with his fellow sailors and their Tahitian followers. With salty humour and growing horror, the play charts the colony's descent from New Eden to brutal dystopia. The play has an age guideline of 16 plus, as it contains strong language and scenes of a sexual nature. Described performances of Pitcairn will take place in the Minerva in the evening of Friday the 12th of September at 7:45, and the matinee, that's at 2:45 in the afternoon of Saturday the 13th of September. Still in the Minerva, the next production is Taken at Midnight, the third new play of the season, written by Mark Hayhurst, who wrote the BBC film The Man Who Crossed Hitler, and 37 Days, a major factual series for the BBC's World War I series in 2014. Jonathan Church is the director of Taken at Midnight. In 1933, brilliant Berlin lawyer Hans Litten is arrested, imprisoned and tortured. The price for calling Hitler as an expert witness at an earlier trial of a group of murderous Nazi brown shirts. The lawyer is never forgiven for using the full force of his intellect, wit and courage against Hitler. His indomitable mother, played by Penelope Wilton, confronts her son's Nazi captors and, at enormous personal risk, fights to secure his release in this dramatic exploration of resistance and the battle of the weak against the powerful, truth against lies, and mothers against murderers. The description dates for this production in the Minerva are the evening of Friday the 24th of October at 7:45 and at 2:45 for the matinee performance on Saturday the 25th of October. The season continues back to the Festival Theatre with another of the greatest of Broadway musicals, Gypsy, based on the memoirs of Gypsy Rose Lee, with music by Julie Style and lyrics by Stephen Sondheim. It tells of Mama Rose's stage plans for her two very different daughters against a backdrop of declining public enthusiasm for cheery family vaudeville acts. It features classics such as Let Me Entertain You and Rose's Turn, and the whole piece is both moving and spectacularly entertaining. Imelda Staunton returns to Chichester to play the legendary Mama Rose, and she teams up again with Jonathan Kent, who directed her as Mrs. Lovett in Sondheim's Sweeney Todd, in a performance that has earned her the 2013 Olivier Award for Best Actress in a Musical. Laura Pulver plays Rosie's daughter Louise, and Kevin Whately makes his Chichester debut as Herbie. There are 4 described performances of Gypsy in the Festival Theatre. On the evening of Friday, the 31st of October at 7:30, at the matinee performance at 2:30 on Saturday the 1st of November, and then a week later, in the evening of Friday the 7th of November at 7:30, and finally at the matinee on Saturday the 8th of November at 2:30. The next play, and the last in the Minerva for this season, is Frankie and Johnny by Terence McNally. It's a tender and passionate play set in a New York apartment with 2 lonely people getting together, and has been a hit all around the world. Wisecracking chef Johnny attempts to persuade colleague and waitress Frankie that their one-night stand and brief meeting of bodies could lead to a lifelong meeting of minds. Dervla Cohen plays the unconvinced Frankie. The team will offer an audio description of this production in the Minerva on the evening of Friday the 28th of November at 7:45, and at the matinee in the afternoon of Saturday the 29th of November at 2:45. Back once again to the Festival Theatre for the penultimate production of the season, Oscar Wilde's blisteringly witty masterpiece, An Ideal Husband. In the London Society of 1895, Mrs. Laura Shively wants upright Government Minister Sir Robert Chiltern to help ensure the success of her investment scheme. And she knows his shameful dark secret, so he will help, won't he? But Sir Robert's adoring wife was at school with Mrs. Shively and knows her dark secret. Can this stay her hand and save Sir Robert's honour, reputation and career? The play is a stylish comedy and a searing exposure of hypocrisy and bogus morality that passionately analyses ambition, shame, corruption and ruin in a London society where decorousness masks scheming and corruptible social and political connections in high places. Rachel Kavanagh directs this production, which features Patricia Routledge as Lady Markby. Audio-described performances of An Ideal Husband will take place in the Festival Theatre on Friday evening, the 12th of December at 7:30, and at the matinee at 2:30 on Saturday, the 13th of December. The final show of the Chichester Festival Theatre 2014 season is 101 Dalmatians, this year's Christmas production by the Youth Theatre. Pongo and Mrs. Pongo become the proud parents of 15 adorable Dalmatian puppies, but then along comes Cruella de Vil, the nastiest, cruelest villain. After her henchmen steal the whole litter, the desperate parents set off on a daring, tail-wagging rescue adventure to outwit the captors. Based on the much-loved story by Dodie Smith, this is the world premiere of a new adaptation by Bryony Lavery and is directed by Dale Rooks, director of the award-winning Chichester Festival Youth Theatre, whose acclaimed productions have been a feature of Christmas at the Festival Theatre for over 10 years. There is just one audio-described performance of 101 Dalmatians, and that's at the matinee at 2 p.m. on Saturday, the 3rd of January 2015. Now some details of booking arrangements. Although the theatre offers an online booking service for the audio description service, please book your tickets by post, telephone or in person. This will ensure that you are allocated the most suitable seats for the audio description service and receive the correct discount on the ticket price. It will also ensure the audio description team know to expect you at your chosen performances. Friends of the theatre can also enjoy a priority booking period. Friends can book tickets by post from the 12th of March or by telephone or in person from the 17th of March. Public booking opens a week later, by post from the 19th of March or by telephone or in person from the 24th of March. Finally, a reminder about the arrangements for the audio descriptions of the performances themselves. Please arrive at the theatre about 20 minutes before the start of the performance to give you plenty of time to collect your headset and listen to the pre-performance description. In the Minerva, please collect your headset as usual from the theatre staff at the entrance to the Minerva Auditorium. In the refurbished Festival Theatre, please collect your headset from the new access point in the foyer. Then take your seat, adjust the headset so you are ready to listen to the pre-performance description. This starts 12 minutes before the production begins and explains about the play and the characters and gives details of the set and costumes, etc. At the end of the performance, please hand your headset back to any member of staff.